dreary solitude of the Louisiana night, I found myself embroiled in a chilling encounter that would forever haunt the recesses of my mind. Over a decade spent traversing the labyrinthine highways of America, I had grown accustomed to the myriad mysteries that lurked beyond the glow of my headlights. But nothing could have prepared me for the horrors that awaited me at a seemingly innocuous Shell gas station on the outskirts of Baton Rouge. As the witching hour descended upon the desolate landscape, I wrestled with the twin demons of exhaustion and necessity. The relentless march of time had brought me to the brink of desperation, my bladder aching for release as I scanned the horizon for a beacon of respite. And then, like a mirage materializing from the depths of the night, a weathered sign loomed on the roadside, promising refuge in the form of a long-abandoned gas station. With trepidation gnawing at my resolve, I steered my rig into the crumbling parking lot, the air thick with the palpable weight of decay. The station stood as a grim monument to neglect, its once bustling facade now a crumbling shell of its former self. But with necessity as my guide, I ventured forth into the heart of darkness. Entering the decrepit restroom, I was assailed by a wave of fetid odor that threatened to overwhelm my senses. Gagging against the stench, I beheld a sight that would be seared into my memory for eternity, a ghastly tableau of death and decay, with a lone figure sprawled upon the cold linoleum floor. Retreating in horror, I fled back to the sanctuary of my truck, trembling with a mixture of revulsion and dread. As the flashing lights of emergency responders pierced the veil of night, I recounted my harrowing ordeal to disbelieving ears, each word a testament to the horrors that lurked beneath the veneer of civilization. In the aftermath of that fateful night, I found myself haunted by the specter of mortality, the memory of that grisly discovery forever etched into the fabric of my being. And though the road may stretch on endlessly before me, I carry with me the knowledge that some nightmares are all too real. In the aftermath of that fateful night, the specter of the abandoned gas station loomed large in my mind, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of the mundane. Though the authorities had come and gone, their investigation yielding little in the way of answers, I could not shake the feeling of unease that had settled over me like a shroud. Returning to the road, I found myself haunted by the memory of that ghastly discovery, the image of the corpse etched into the recesses of my mind like a scar upon the soul. It was a reminder that even in the most desolate of places, the echoes of the past can still reverberate with chilling clarity. As the miles stretched on before me, I found myself grappling with the existential questions that had plagued me since that fateful night. What secrets lay hidden beneath the surface of the abandoned gas station? Who was the unfortunate soul whose life had ended amidst the crumbling walls and peeling paint? Though the answers remained elusive, I could not help but feel a sense of kinship with the unknown victim, bound together by the shared experience of encountering the darkness that lurks at the edge of existence. And though I would never forget the horrors of that night, I found solace in the knowledge that I had emerged from the darkness with my spirit intact. For on the lonely highways of America, where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blur with each passing mile, it is the strength of the human spirit that guides us through the darkness and into the light. The Catskill Mountains rose majestically in the distance, their rugged peaks obscured by a thick blanket of mist that hung heavy in the air. As I navigated the winding mountain roads of Wurtsboro, New York, I couldn't help but marvel at the raw beauty that surrounded me, a beauty that belied the dangers lurking just beneath the surface. For a seasoned trucker like myself, driving through the mountains was nothing new. Yet, as the rain began to fall and the roads grew slick with moisture, I knew that this journey would be unlike any other. With each passing mile, the sense of unease grew stronger, a nagging voice in the back of my mind warning me of the perilous path that lay ahead. As the rain pelted down upon the windshield, obscuring my view of the road ahead, I felt the first stirrings of fear deep within my chest. With each twist and turn of the mountain pass, I clung to the steering wheel with white-knuckled intensity, my heart pounding in my chest as I fought to maintain control of the massive vehicle hurtling down the rain-slicked asphalt. And then, disaster struck. As I rounded a particularly treacherous bend, the wheels of my truck skidded dangerously close to the edge, the abyss below yawning wide to swallow me whole. At that moment, time seemed to slow to a crawl, every heartbeat a thunderous drumbeat in the silence of the night. With a surge of adrenaline, I fought to regain control of the careening vehicle, my every instinct screaming at me to flee from the brink of oblivion. And then, miraculously, the truck came to a stop, teetering precariously on the edge of disaster. As I sat there, suspended between life and death, I couldn't help but marvel at the sheer improbability of my survival. The mountain pass had exacted its toll, leaving scars both seen and unseen, but I refused to be broken by its cruelty. With trembling hands and a heart heavy with gratitude, I emerged from the wreckage, battered but alive. The road ahead may be fraught with peril, but with each passing mile, I carry with me the indomitable spirit that has guided me through the darkest of nights. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, casting its golden rays across the rugged landscape, I emerged from the wreckage, battered but alive. The events of that fateful night on the treacherous mountain pass had left an indelible mark upon my soul, a reminder of the fragility of life in the face of nature's fury. I refused to succumb to despair. With each passing day, I found strength in the knowledge that I had survived the ordeal, that I had emerged from the darkness with my spirit unbroken. And though the scars of that night would linger for years to come, a constant reminder of the dangers that lurk beneath the surface of the world we inhabit, I vowed to press on, to continue my journey along the winding roads of life, guided by the light of hope and resilience. For in the darkest of nights, it is the flicker of the human spirit that illuminates the path forward, guiding us through the darkness and into the dawn of a new day. The night air hung heavy with the scent of rain, the thick fog swirling like tendrils of smoke around me as I settled into the comforting embrace of my truck. For a weary traveler like myself, the solitude of the night was a welcome respite from the chaos of the world. Yet, as I sat there in the darkness, a sense of unease began to creep over me like a shadow, a primal instinct warning me of unseen dangers lurking just beyond the edge of perception. With each passing moment, the feeling of being watched grew stronger, a sinister presence lurking just beyond the veil of darkness. It started innocently enough, a flicker of movement in the corner of my eye, a fleeting shadow darting through the night. But as the hours wore on, the sense of foreboding grew stronger, until it was all-consuming, a suffocating blanket of fear that threatened to engulf me whole. And then, it happened. The sound of shattering glass shattered the silence, a deafening cacophony that pierced the stillness like a knife. With a surge of adrenaline, I sprang into action, my heart pounding in my chest as I braced myself for whatever horrors awaited me outside. As I flung open the door of my truck, I was met with a sight. I found myself engulfed in a maelstrom of chaos and terror, the twisted wreckage of my truck serving as a grim reminder of the fragility of life. But amidst the wreckage and ruin, I emerged battered but unbowed, a survivor of nature's wrath. And though the scars of that ordeal may never fully heal, they serve as a constant reminder of the indomitable spirit that drives us forward, even in the face of insurmountable odds. For on the icy roads of Crawford Street, I danced with death and lived to tell the tale. As I stood amidst the twisted wreckage of my truck, battered but unbowed, I found myself grappling with the realization that I had stared death in the face and lived to tell the tale. It was a sobering reminder of the fragility of life, of the razor's edge upon which we all walk with each passing day. In the days that followed, I found myself haunted by the memory of that fateful descent down Crawford Street, the icy grip of fear tightening around my heart with each passing moment. It was a reminder that even the most familiar of roads could become treacherous under the unforgiving gaze of winter's icy embrace. But amidst the chaos and uncertainty, I found solace in the knowledge that I had emerged from the darkness with my spirit intact. It was a testament to the indomitable strength of the human spirit, to the resilience that lies within every one of us, waiting to be unleashed in times of trial and tribulation. And though the scars of that ordeal may never fully heal, they serve as a reminder of the power of the human spirit to overcome even the greatest of challenges. For on the icy roads of Crawford Street, I danced with death and emerged victorious, a survivor in a world where the only certainty is uncertainty.